Hi everyone. In the wake of new millennium, we entered into the realm of post-9/11 world. In this new beginning, certain parts of the globe are reluctant to allow Muslim women to cover their faces. The rationale behind the veil ban is assuring safety of others, retaliating against security threats, hurdles in identifying terrorists, and discouraging the dreadful elements who mostly claim to be linked with Muslim communities. Indeed, the advancement in technology has offered us facilities like closed-circuit television (CCTV), and face covering appears to be a hurdle in using the facility. But look into the ironical shift of the happenings in 2020, when covering face with masks has been set compulsory to assure safety to mankind. I hope you get that. The fact is, whether pre-COVID or post-COVID world, or whether masking or unmasking faces, the apparent purpose is to guarantee security. But we are talking about veil ban and the reaction of Muslim communities. Now, we need to understand two things. Number one, the importance of a veil in Islamic jurisprudence. And the second thing, we need to understand the way different countries have banned the veil. And then we can look into some pragmatic solutions. So let's talk about veil, right? Parda. Hijab is a women's dress particularly associated with Muslim women these days. To uphold modesty, exhibit piousness, and sustain privacy from unrelated males, Muslim women put on hijab. Most Islamic legal systems explain such type of modest clothing as covering everything excluding the face and hands up to wrists. Whereas some believe that the Quran itself does not order that women must wear hijab. So hijab is not a problem to any country, but burqa and niqab are. Burqa is an encasing outer garment that covers the body and the face of a woman. Niqab is also a garment that shows face covering. The burqa and other type of face veils like niqab have been testified since pre-Islamic times. Many Jews, Christians, and women of other faith consider hiding their faces as a symbol of piety. Jains in India take it to another level, and covering faces disregard to gender is compulsory in Jains. But we are talking about Muslim discrimination perspective. Numerous Islamic scholars of past and present do not regard face veiling as a religious requirement. However, some scholars, particularly those belong to the Salafi lobby, view it as an obligatory for women in the presence of non-related man. In the early Islamic jurisprudence, when veiling was discussed beyond prayer setting, it was generally considered an issue of social status and physical safety rather of a religious nature. Later, during the medieval period, Islamic jurists began to devote more consideration to the idea of aura, the intimate parts of the body, and the question of whether women should cover their faces or not. Opinions of the mainstream and majority at that time, which surfaced and that was predominant among Malikis and Hanafis jurists, possessed that women should cover everything except their face in public. On the contrary, most Hanbali and Shafi'i jurists of the same era viewed a woman's face among the aura, the intimate part, concluding that they should be concealed except for their eyes. A Hanafi scholar, Burhanuddin Marghinani, in 1197 stressed that it was particularly important for a woman to leave her face and hands uncovered during everyday business dealing with men. In the Shia or Jafariya school of fiqh, covering face is not obligatory. Thus, there is a difference of opinion about covering of face and hands in the Islamic legal schools. In this context of the argument, it will be inappropriate to call niqab a unanimously accepted Islamic religious obligation, and if not followed, the faith is in shambles. Definitely, your faith is not challenged through niqab. It is quite clear that hijab is not a matter of concern to anyone or any country, but niqab or face covering is banned by more than 15 plus countries, including Oceanic, Asian, African, and European states around the globe. Some Muslim countries also banned niqab, and some discouraged it through establishing the argument that niqab is not a religious binding. I'm talking about Muslim countries. For instance, on October 8, 2009, Egypt's world's leading school of Sunni Islam, Al-Adhr, banned the wearing of the niqab in classrooms and dormitories of all its affiliate schools and educational institutes. In the summer of 2010, students wearing the niqab were prohibited from registering for university classes in Syria. In 2017, the government of Tajikistan passed a law requiring people to stick to traditional national clothes and culture, an attempt to prevent women from wearing Islamic way of clothing, specifically the niqab. In particular, the style of a headscarf wrapped under the chin in Muslim style, in contrast to the traditional Tajik style where it is tied behind the head. In 2015, the Constitutional Council of Islamic Ideology in Pakistan issued the fatwa that women are not required to wear niqab or cover their hands or feet under Sharia. So if 15 plus countries have banned face covering through their democratic system, majority voting mechanism, and to ensure safety of their citizens, if the bombing by an Islamic State affiliated group as claimed killed more than 250 people in the Sri Lankan's capital in April 2009 and subsequently, Sri Lanka government banned the covering of the face that hinders the identification of individuals in a way that threatens national security, why so much hue and cry in a debate? But at the same time, yes, at the same time, countries who have banned face covering or plan to ban this must recognize the historical facts in which 20 million deaths in WW1, World War I, 85 million casualties in World War II, 1.3 million deaths in North and South Vietnam, 0.2 million civilian fatalities in Syria, 150,000 plus deaths in Sri Lankan civil war are not caused by the people who value covering faces to maintain the modesty of their women. Yes, if banning the face veil instigates the sense of insecurity or discrimination among Muslim women who prefer to have niqab, the COVID-19 has given a chance to rethink, and instead of being nosy to the everyday life of every individual, it is far more recommended to rethink the security mechanisms. The buzzword innovation has to be applied on such old-fashioned and pathetic manners of controlling and scrutinizing people of different faiths. Sri Lanka and countries alike must take masking in COVID-19 as a treat to retune the veil ban policy and try to figure out what better could be done. That's all for today, and I'm sure this little stream of information has made you think a little more. And the countries who are banning covering faces need to think little extra. A little. Bye-bye.